to just sum up the year, it's just one thing that happened to me very early on in this year was fear. There was a lot of changes that were going on the beginning of this year. If you guys don't know, recap, the beginning of this year I lost my job, so that was fun. No, I'm just kidding, that was not fun at all. The store that I worked in went bankrupt, so I essentially lost my job, and it was like in a week's notice. Like, that was how I lost my job. Then also at the top of the year, as I was losing my job, my boyfriend told me he was joining the military. Of course, with this news, I was just like devastated. Not devastated, but it was just a lot to take on all at one moment. If I have to say one thing, this year was like the year of heavy hits, back to back to back to back to back. Straight up knockout punches. Like, as soon as I would get up from a situation, another situation will knock me out. So I was really strong in my faith at the beginning of the year. I was like, you know, we're gonna get through this. I'm gonna get through it. And one thing that happened at the beginning of the year was when I lost my job, I told myself, all right, I lost my job, but you know, this is great because I can have more time to put into my YouTube channel. So I was like, girl, make videos every day. And for a minute there, I did. Like, I had videos coming out every 2 to 3 days. I was popping videos out. I just wasn't, you know, making enough money from YouTube. Of course, I do not make that much money on YouTube. My boyfriend actually went away the beginning of the year, like towards the middle of the year. He went away in March to boot camp, and this was the most trying time of my life because at the same time I got a new job and I started working at Urban Outfitters, which is where I work now. And that was pretty crazy. Just like, I feel like in a lot of ways Urban Outfitters saved me because I didn't know what I was gonna do with no job and like my boyfriend being away. Like, that's just like a very lonely, you know, spaced out type of moment, very depressing moment, you know. Not only do I not have anything to do every day, but also my best friend is gone. I started getting in the hang of things. I finally started making a little bit of money. So yeah, I tried to make better choices this year, which is funny because of the next thing I'm gonna say. The third thing, and like the thing that almost knocked me out this year, I'm just being honest. I'm trying to be 100% transparent, you know. A lot of times, and this is what I'm trying to do going into the next year, I'm trying to be fearless and I'm trying not to hold back as much as I've always held back. I'm just like a person that holds back. Like, I don't talk much, I don't do much, I don't, you know, I live up here in my head. For the most part, but I'm trying to be more transparent and not be like, oh yeah, I'm just this strong person. If I'm being honest, this year I went through a breakup, and that breakup happened because basically it was a stress point in my relationship. And me and my boyfriend, you know, him going to boot camp and being in the military, you know, that brings a lot of stress on you. I can't even begin to explain what that life is like. One, because I don't live it. Two, because it's so much that goes into it that I've seen from, you know, being with him and loving someone going through that. You learn so much from it. But anyway, getting to the point, he was going through a lot of stress and we was arguing almost like every day. It was like a tug and pull situation, and I decided to break up with him. Not because, oh, you're a bad person or anything like that, or he's doing anything bad. It was because I'm like, I need something from you that you can't give me right now. And you can't give it to me for a reasonable reason, like being in the military and being hecka stressed out and being, you know, and some might say I was being selfish and some might say I was just knowing my worth, because it wasn't like little petty things. Because I understand the distance. I understand he's not going to be able to talk to me all the time. I understand that. But it's when you do get the time, like when you do get the weekends free to do whatever you want, and you would choose to go to parties or do this and do that before talking to my girlfriend or even checking in with my girlfriend. Like, I was going like the whole weekend without hearing anything from him, and I'm like, that's not cool. So I decided to break up with him. And it was very devastating because I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to break up with him. But that's what I felt like I had to do in that situation. So we broke up, and he actually let me break up with him, and that was devastating because I didn't want him to let me break up. But anyway, it was just very hard going through that. Like, you go through spending like every day with someone, to never hearing from them because they're in boot camp, to finally getting them back and being so happy to talk to them. You just want them to be so happy to talk to you, but they actually don't want to do that, and instead they want to like escape what they're going through in some other ways that have nothing to do with you. Like, that was very hard on me because I was thinking very down on myself, like, what am I missing? Why am I not enough? But I was also trying to keep my strength, trying not to let someone just run all over me. So we broke up. I'm not hardened by the pain that came from that. In that situation, I learned so much about myself, not only because obviously I got a bunch of time to spend with myself and getting to know myself because I was single, but I also got to know a lot about other people. And me being a person who doesn't spend that much time with other people, who doesn't have that many friends, I got to see, okay, not everyone is like me. Not everyone makes the same decisions that I would make in certain situations, but that doesn't mean that they're not worth being loved. That doesn't mean that they're not worthy. That doesn't mean that they're not perfect in their own way. You get what I'm saying? And I got to learn that. And this goes into what I'm about to say. My breakup in my relationship has taught me to love unconditionally. And we all say, oh, I love you so much. I love you unconditionally. Like, unconditional love, we all talk about it as a concept, but like when you actually have to love someone through horrible conditions, unless you go through that, you will never really know how it feels to love someone unconditionally. And I'm not saying you need to go through pain or suffering or breakups. There's other ways, but that pain will definitely teach you how to love unconditionally. I'm not saying I'm the forgive master, I'm the love master, but I'm trying, and I think I'm doing pretty good because it's not even me, and honestly it's God. Like, I have to give it to God. I have to give the glory to the Lord Jesus Christ, because if I'm really, really serious and so like transparent, that is the only thing that's gotten me through this year, was the times when I was at my end, I was broken down, I was done, and I turned to God, and I got on my knees, and I prayed, and I read my Bible scriptures, and that was the only time I could get a little bit of peace from everything that was going on, like all the crazy things, like life just hitting me back to back to back. So when God has something in store, there's no way you can run from it. There's no way you can, push it off. Like, it's gonna be there. Like, it's set in stone, basically. I said, you know what, Jazera, you can let this moment shape you into a bitter person and carry this grudge with you, or you can take this and learn how to love in a different type of way. I decided to try to forgive, and forgiveness is not something that's just like, I forgive you. Love is forgiveness. So if you do not love someone or people in general, you will not know how to forgive. And just because this is a year wrap-up video and not just a video on relationships, if you guys want that video, I will go more in depth. Let me know. But basically all I'm saying is I learned how to forgive on another type of level this year. So yeah, me and my boyfriend are back together, and I love him, and we're trying to make things work. That was what I was going through all summer long. End of the summer, my grandmother passed away. So that was like devastating. Like, till this day, I don't like to think about it. I don't like to talk about it. Like, I love my grandmother. That was my last grandparent. Like, that was my last grandparent. But all I could really tell y'all is that I went through that, and I'm not like gonna go in depth into that, because right when my boyfriend came back into my life, my grandmother passed away. So that was another heavy blow, heavy hit that life gave me. Basically, I regret not going to college when I first got out of high school. When I first got out of high school, I didn't go to college mainly because I was helping take care of my mom. She's disabled and I love her so much and I don't regret for a second, like, you know, but I didn't not continue. That was only for like a year. I could have went after that, but at that point I just kept procrastinating and just waiting, and then fast forward, and then a bunch of stuff happened, and then I got a job, so I was making a little bit of money, so I wasn't in a rush to go back. And ultimately I wish I would have made that decision to go back, because it wasn't anyone holding me back or anything like that. It was just literally procrastination and me focusing on other things. Your education is so important, especially if you want to do certain things in life. So for me, I want to be a literature professor. I love literature. I love books. I love reading. I love philosophy. I love analyzing books, breaking them down, sharing connections, information, knowledge, spirituality through written language. I don't know how to explain it. I could go very much in depth, but that is my true passion. That's what I've always been passionate about. I need a lot of schooling, and you know, now I'm 21, gonna be 22 in the spring. That's a long time. Like, I could have gotten my bachelor's by now, you know, if I would have went straight after high school. I'm still young, so definitely I still have time, and you always have time to go back to school. Don't let anyone shame you and be like, oh, you're mad old to go to school, or you know, life is done for you. But I would say it's easier to do it before than after, because now I'm in the situation where I pay bills, so I have to go to school and work. I don't have the luxury, you know, some kids have the luxury of just going to school, and some people have to work and go to school, and I'm just one of those people. But it's very hard working and going to school and paying enough and making enough for your bills. I'm trying to work more hours or go into another thing, like probably start freelancing makeup again. But I really don't like freelancing makeup. One, because it's not profitable. In the sense that makeup is very expensive and it takes a very long time to build a clientele, just because makeup isn't a thing that people get on a weekly basis. So you're gonna have different customers all the time, as opposed to my sister who does lashes. She's a lash tech and she gets clients every week. She has to set, like every single day she's booked, and then those same clients always come back guaranteed the next month, you know. Or nails, people that get their nails done, they get their nails done every 2 weeks. They coming back like clockwork every 2 weeks. Get a filling, coming back, you know. Makeup is more of an occasion type thing. Like you mostly get your makeup done for an occasion. I want to, you know, make my dreams come to life. At the same time, I am writing a book right now. I'm writing my first novel, and it's very hard. It's a lot of blood and dedication and sweat and tears you have to put into a book, and you know, it's a lot of time and discipline that you have to put into yourself to be able to write a book. So, you know, it's just like a lot, and I'm trying my best to make the best decisions and to put 100% into something. Hopefully I get to meet more people, do new things. Hopefully I finish my book. That is another New Year's resolution, like being fearless and finishing my book by the end of next year. That is my resolution. It's gonna happen. I know, I can feel it. I can feel it. It's gonna happen. And I hope you guys conquer your New Year's resolutions. Comment below what yours is and how excited you are for the next year. Comment below all the BS you're leaving in 2018, everything you went through. Let's open the conversation. Let's have this conversation. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in this whole year and just sticking with me, and, you know, subscribing, commenting, liking, supporting me on my social media, reaching out to me. Because, you know, it really helps with everything I went through this year. You guys have been so understanding in my absence. Hopefully now you guys know a little bit of why I was so absent. But yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.